Pardon me. Sorry. I was hoping to let that one out slowly. I apologise. It's the problem going live. You can make mistakes and you can't just go, Star Wars white. G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to Tabletop News. I'm your host, the author, David Applegate. Author of the books The Boyhood of Cade, Power Games, Into the Ozbound, and The Erotic Tales from the Empire. Also, the Future Fantasy RPG in progress, creation in progress. Thank you all the patrons who support the channel through my Patreon and buying my books. All my links are in the link tree. Invite you to join the growing community, support the channel, help me become financially viable, and eventually I'll put out more future fantasy stuff, of course. Right, let's get to the favourite site, first site, bundle holding, Coyote and Crow, a tabletop science fantasy role-playing game. The core rulebook and 9 complete stories, one price, gets you the whole collection, $17.95. Coyote and Crow is an alternative RPG in the uncolonized America. Hey, I'm not going to call it woke, because you never know, because they were isolationists, nationalists, and tribal, all mixed into one. And alternative history is and looking at this as a successful six-carder, is still amazing, right? It's science fantasy, so don't immediately jump to conclusions, please. Particularly in this is the set on the edge of the Ice Age. Now, $17.95 gets you all titles in the collection, retail $90. And it's actually a future, not the past. That's the whole part of science fantasy. And this is the event to change the world. The Great Spirit gave Crow knowledge and wisdom that would survive a disaster, an infection. Centuries later, advanced nations have risen. It would happen, possibly, never mind historically, only a few civilizations crawled out of that neo-nationalist, isolationist mold and became great empires, and most of them never technologically advanced. Remember, the Industrial Revolution did not occur in other countries. It spread from one nation to others. Though France says, we did it first, no, they were copycats. The French ambassador, as soon as heard about the steam engine, he and his goons got together, stole one, and shipped it to France overnight. Within weeks, they had one. And within months, almost everybody throughout the world had one. They spread like wildfire. That part is true. Same with a disease. How does this disease... So, yeah, I can pick holes in it. I'm sorry. But you get a nice little interesting collection of modules. And I think for 10 weekends, you've got something to do. So it's not entirely a waste of time. It's not a waste of money. I don't think it's that woke. It's just alternative history. Not that people do. I mean, people still do Victorian and steampunk and alternative history there. So let's just give that one a break and move on to another Apocalypse Engine tabletop game. This time, yet again, Evil Hat, sorry. A core rulebook. This is not Apocalypse Engine. Recently we had a good run of Apocalypse Engine games. Here we have Apocalyptic Special. $9.95 gets you the Keys Core Rulebook and the Doomsday Delight expansion. Now, $9.95 for 35. It's a bit undervalued compared to others. Unlock the Apocalypse. It draws near. Mysteries to solve, doors to unlock. As an Omen class monster, you're the only thing holding back the apocalypse. So, and new keys, departments, factions, and harbingers of the apocalypse. So, you fight the literal doomsday. So, it looks amazing. So, make of that what you will. Sigilstone, from January 2022, a modern role-playing game set with old school style rules, and $14.95 gets you the entire collection. There's another one I think is just a little bit overpriced, but everything is starting to get just that little bit overpriced, isn't it? Now, 11 titles in all. Old school rulebooks for $14.95. 5 Torches Deep, an old school role-playing game for 5th generation. Hyphaid Peaks, a evocative adventure in the mythological mountain range. Supplements, origins. Flesh out your character's origins. Duels, a melee system with nuanced blow by blow. Homesteads, stealth, the vault. Subsistence for farming, stealth infiltration, and interesting magic items. Vagabonds, old school unholy union with the Apocalypse engine. This is where, see, another Apocalypse engine. Blaze in the dark and other, there are no moves, no playbooks, freeform traits, streamlined 2d6 mechanics, focused on storytelling and positioning. Easy rules. Again, another successful Kickstarter. Some supplements. Vagabonds, hundreds of new rules, tables, etc. And Dork Toda, a city on the Sea of Glass. Plunder the plunder the dead city on the Sea of Glass. Of course, you'll feel free to throw in some undead occupants. They aren't already in there. From another tabletop role-playing supplement for 5th edition, MT Black Games presents Anatomy of Adventure. And it is MT Black, 5th edition. Yeah. Freelance designer, many best-selling titles. Anatomy of Adventure is actually how to design an adventure. Emporium of Wonders, more magic items. Iskander, a complete rulebook and guide to the City of Shining Spires. 5th edition Adventures, Fraternity of Ash, Keepers of the Pale Flame, Old Town Saga, Secrets of the Sunbloom Hall, and Tomb of the Twilight Queen. Beautiful. $12.95, one price gets you the entire collection. Next we have Defiant. One price gets you the Defiant RPG and campaign supplements, $14.95. A supernatural modern aristocratic role-playing game. Supernatural aristocrats in a modern-day horror, urban fantasy, mighty supernaturals rebel against destiny, and instead of destroying the world, they want to protect it. Fallen angels, demons, gods, and dragons are the modern aristocrats. They walk a thin line between satisfying desires and navigating the ruthless politics of the supernatural world. 5 defiant campaigns. You have Birthright, Explore, Guilt and the Road to Redemption. Bridgewood Guide is a popular destination for tourists and people looking for fun, an alternative guide to new locations and things you don't see, like the Lowborn. All right, House Carmel, another powerful aristocratic house. Subjects behind every supernatural being, and behind every successful royal spouse, there's the subjects, the courts and courtiers. Vanheim Tower, giant structure, materializes out of thin air, and what are you going to do about it? Green Ronin 3rd edition, a D20 tabletop role-playing game from Green Ronin Publishing. The third era brings you advanced rules and supplements and more. $14.95 gets you the initial base set. Published 2000 to 2008, Green Ronin used the new open license system for D20 for the 3rd edition and its extension 3.5. However, with the advent of 4th E, the D20 trademark license went away. As you know, a lot of people are very dissatisfied with the current version 1 and any attempts to replace it. And of course, a lot of people are sticking to their old material. They are not producing new material, and this is harming the industry quite a lot, particularly when people won't and can't, for some reason, just say, I'm going to support somebody else because I'm smart enough to know that if I buy Dave's supplements, I can use them in my games. Thank you, voice from the sky. Now, if you pay the threshold price of $25.84 or more, you level up and get the entire bonus collection. Now, this is quite a valuable collection in that it has quite a large number of rule books and source books. You have the Advanced Player's Manual, Master's Guide, and Bestiary, along with the Racial Codex for players. And then you have the supplements, the Book of Fiends, Creatures from the Vault of Darkness, masterclasses, more classes for your players, and of course, Mystic Vista's sourcebook, various settings throughout the different eras. Amazing stuff. Only a few days left to go. As I said, Future Fantasy, a homebrew science fantasy setting that uses D6. Join the growing community, hundreds of posts, and you've got maps, you've got RPG material, and you help funding graphics to basically level up the material. I'm not an artist, I have to hire artists. Now we go to the Drive-Thru RPG, the largest RPG download store, not sponsored, but I am an affiliate. All links in the description below. Cult of RuneQuest. Chaosium has again pulled out a new, or should I say, hit one out the park with another bestseller, showing you that the once mighty Dungeons & Dragons no matter how much they pump out, is missing the mark. I've always said, and I've said this for 20 years, they produce too much. You go to the average bookstore, and this was the D&D mentality. Oh, but if we crowd out all the other material, the Traveller will go away and all the other popular. See, a lot of people don't understand this. D&D, for a long time, wasn't the most popular. It's just that media and some people decided that they will focus on D&D. Maybe they saw it as a weak link. Others may have saw it as it's a cultural phenomenon. We've got to push it. Others just liked it and just wouldn't shut up about it. Whatever happened to D&D died when Hasbro took it over. People know this. The corporate mentality, the doubling of the price of books, the pushing of material out of stores in favour of from first to second. I mean, sure, there was a lot of problems, but if they just upgraded the game, this is the problem. They just wanted to sell you a new system every couple of years. And it got annoying. It got annoying that they put out more modules than you could poke a stick at, and none of them, apart from a few, were a cohesive story. So you were jumping all over the place, playing it, and eventually your worlds crumbled because you didn't have a world guide that you could sit down and go, yep, this is my world, this is the events, and it would go, that they would have. And then dropping of Dragonlance and all those other things, it just is never-ending shit show. And yet people take their time before they drop the corporate slop. Now, I'm not saying that all corporations are bad, or a lot of these people are very passionate. But I think most of the people who created D&D stuff were very talented. It's the corporate mentality of flood the market so that there's no competition. And then, as there's no competition, you have prices that go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and eventually you just go out the window. This is why sites like this do so. It's not the only one, but it's also why alternative games are doing so well. Because they're not insulting the player. Warhammer produces a consistent, may not always be the best, but it is a consistent world. And they weren't always the most popular. And yeah, the dwarves, goblins, etc. I mean, I don't find it repetitive. Why is it automatically that you have a world with a set group of races, with a set group of alignments? Why is it so hard that they're going to fight every few years? What's so hard about that? And when their populations are low, they retreat to their dominions. I mean, it's a perfect, balanced, never-ending game world. I know Warhammer has shit the bed a few times, but I think they're waking up and saying, gee, we better not wipe out our planet every couple of months or we're doomed. We can't keep destroying worlds and giving them new ones. I think the demand for, you just can't produce one game that's going to satisfy everybody, and people are going to change. That's why you have so many vast, varied, and different successes. asking you kindly to join mine. Thank you. Along the way, of course, if you have something you want promoted, let me know. Recently, I had some artwork sent to me to review. I think I did a bang-up job, and they actually went on. I'm not saying I solely was responsible, but they had a successful Kickstarter. It was a pleasure to. So, thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please support the channel. As I said, you can support me through Patreon, but you can also buy my books, buy my merch. All my links are in the link tree, description below, in my profile, or scan the QR code on screen. Please and thank you, and see you in the next video. And I'm bugging it up. There we go. I'm sorry. See you in the next video. Bye for now.